Good morning. Welcome to morning practice with Olivia on Wednesday, January 3rd. It is the new year and feeling particularly quiet this morning. Not really sure why. I think it's been a rainy night and just I think, there's a lot of energy and excitement in the run up to the new year. And when we cross that threshold and we're in it, and it's the first few days, it does feel very sort of young and full of potential. But also, there can be, not always, but there can be in that sort of new open space of the new year, somewhat a sense of deflation or just now that it's arrived, it has it just we have so many kind of ideas about what we want the new year to be, and those things have yet to take shape. But it's also really good to not be attached to how those things take shape. And we were talking about this yesterday too, and really surrendering to trusting the process of how things come to manifest in life, how things come to be, and trying to let go any sense of urgency or desire for things to be not exactly as they are. And this practice of yoga really assists us with the cultivation of awareness around accepting, not just accepting, but embracing everything you have in this moment as enough, and knowing that as we go into the new year, things will unfold and happen, and you can trust in that process and you can believe in that. And it's in these quieter moments in the early morning before all the movement of the day where it still feels like a little bit of an act of surrender to just let go of any expectation that things are going to take shape on the timeline or in the speed desired. Things will take shape and come into being on the timeline that is perfect for my well-being, for your well-being. And it might not feel like that, and it might not even look like that, especially if you're dealing with grief or loss, or you're in a difficult situation of oppression or suffering. And if that is the case, I have so much compassion. It is so hard to be in a state of acceptance and functioning when you're grieving. And so just know that in those moments when the suffering of our heart sort of eclipses the practice of acceptance, and that's a human quality that's completely beautiful. You can connect to the love and light in your heart, most likely through grief, and allow yourself to know that that is a strength, and know that that is something noble about your unique spirit, the depth and quality of the way that we love when we lose somebody, when we're in a situation of immense pain, of loss, of grief, of a pet, of a loved one. It's sort of a holy state, if you're asking, Olivia. But it is. It's a sacred, holy rite of passage where we honor the depths of feeling that we had for another being. And that light and that love, despite that loss, will continue to inhabit your heart for your entire lifetime, which will evolve into a different kind of love and light with time. And it is time that it takes. And you will experience that love and that light always, just in different ways than before. But the part of loss, the part of grief, which I don't think really ever truly is resolved in entirety. It's a beautiful rite of passage. So honor yourself if you're in that rite of passage. Honor your feelings, honor your capability, and be kind. I did not expect to talk about grief and loss this morning, but somehow it felt like that was what was wanting to be talked about. So I hope that was helpful. It really is something that we all endure as humans. I think when we actually leave, when it is our turn to make the crossing, it's a very different kind of experience. Don't think that we have much grieving. But when those around us on the earth plane who we've loved, who we've cherished, when they leave, and sometimes that loss is not death, sometimes it's separation, sometimes it's sudden disappearance. You don't know what happened to the person. There's no explanation. There may never be an explanation. Sometimes a pet goes missing and you look for that pet for days and weeks and months, and it's very hard to accept loss, especially unexplained loss. But working with the grief of loss is, I think, one of the key journeys of the human soul here on the earth. Because it's so tied in to our love and our heart. And it's so tied in to how we experience that and how we can grow around it in depth and awareness. So if anyone is listening today that is experiencing any kind of loss at all, please know that I am sending you heartfelt love and just the message to be so gentle with yourself. And I don't say that lightly. Gentle with yourself, because you are in such a place of tenderness and rawness. And that will change and it will grow into something else. But while you're in the tenderness, while you're in the rawness, you have the opportunity to treat yourself with kindness. So let's just close our eyes, finding a nice tall spine, and hold ourselves collectively in this moment. You may bring one or both hands to the heart center. You may just give yourself a hug. Find a way as we find our seat to hold yourself as if the position of your body just expresses this kind of respectful self-love. You're holding our hearts and holding the wounds in those hearts, wounds that are like multifaceted jewels. They shine and they burn and we feel them. Ultimately, they add to the illumination and luminosity and brilliance of our heart. But when we are in our tender phase, we just hold them with compassion and respect. So we'll just take a few moments in silence here. Loving anything that comes up for you with grace, with kindness. Feeling the warmth of the palms, holding the heart center, the magnetic field, the resonance between the palms and the heart, as if the palms were infusing the heart with their warmth. You may even feel that through the chest. Slowly letting the eyes come to open. You can release the palms to the lap. So we'll do some lovely pranayama, some breath work. I think we'll do the alternate nostril breathing today. So taking either hand, you can put your middle finger and pointer finger together, and we're going to place it right in the center between our eyebrows. And then you'll use your thumb to close and open one nostril and your ring finger to close and open the other nostril. And what we'll do is we'll take a breath in through the right nostril, close it, hold, and then open the left nostril, exhale, and then take a breath in through the left nostril, close the nostril, hold it, open the right nostril, and exhale. And I will talk us through the process. You can place your hands right here, and then closing the left nostril, you can begin to inhale through the right nostril, closing it and holding, opening the left nostril and exhaling. Inhale through the left nostril, close and hold. Opening the right nostril and exhaling. Inhaling through the right nostril, close and hold. And exhaling through the left nostril. Inhaling through the left nostril, close and hold. Opening the right nostril and exhaling. You can continue to take a few rounds of this breathing technique on your own. If it's uncomfortable, just return to I think there might have been an issue with the recording while we were doing the breath work. I will look into that when I do the editing later. Sorry to interrupt. When I came out and looked at the screen, there were some messages from Zoom. So we'll see if there was an issue with the recording. Hopefully not. Let's go and meet on the mat in a cross-legged position. Support for under the hips can be good. Either blocks or blankets can be good for practice too. And yeah. Okay. And this is a great time to get a sip of water if you have some water. I think my leg has gone to sleep while we were sitting there. So as you come over to the mat, let's make your way down here. And then I'm just going to stretch my legs out in front of me and just let the feet windshield wiper side to side. Maybe put just a little bit of movement in the legs so that the blood starts flowing a little bit. It's a little, I sometimes you don't realize when you've been sitting for a little bit that the blood flow stops, and then you get up and like, oh, there's no blood flow in my legs, so I have to let this come back before I can cross my legs. But I'm just going to leave one leg out, but you can feel free to find a cross-legged position. I'm going to put a little support under my hips. There we go. And just do any movement as we're sitting here that feels right, rolling the shoulders, rolling the torso, anything that you're called to do as I arrange myself. And then you'll just find a nice tall spine. Inhaling, arms come overhead. Hands, prayer comes to heart. And that's just offer love and gratitude for this incredible life, this incredible body, this heart that beats and keeps us alive when we're asleep, when we're not fully conscious. Our heart just continues to maintain us with its brilliance and life force. And this body that continues to operate magnificently. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Inhaling, arms come overhead, prayer comes to heart, just offering love and gratitude for all the people in our lives, all the people in the world, everything that everyone does to contribute simply by being themselves, simply by being themselves. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And inhaling, arms overhead, prayer comes to the heart, and just offering so much love and gratitude for this planet, for the experience of being sentient on Earth, getting to see the beauty of nature, getting to touch and feel the taste of the wind, what it is to swim in salt water, fresh water, what it is to feel the light on our skin. Such amazing gifts. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And you can let your hands just drop to your lap, and let's just press your palms into your thighs, and we'll just do a few torso circles to the right. It's really feeling that. Feeling any imbalancing in the body after a night's sleep. And then we'll do those torso circles to the left, just pressing your hands into your thighs, noticing what the body feels like this morning. And then we'll come to hands and knees on our mat. And you may want to place your blocks near the top of the mat in case you need them handy. Again, I'm going to probably keep my sweater on as we go through practice because it is chilly, but I will talk you through the movement. We'll do some cat-cows, just lifting the tailbone, very gently lifting the heart, and then curling the tailbone, curling the back, pressing up between the shoulder blades. And again, inhaling to arch, exhaling to round, inhaling to arch, exhaling to round. Now one more time, arch, exhaling to round. Then we'll lift the left leg up and the right arm reaches forward, and let's just find our moment here. And then the elbow and knee can come into meet. If that's difficult, just stay with your arm and leg extended. Bring it in again if you would like to. And one more time. And then you can place your right hand down. You're going to place the toes of your left foot. I'm going to move a little forward on my mat. The toes of your left foot come down, and then let the foot come to the side. You might kick out your right shin just as a bit more of a kickstand, and reach your left arm overhead. First straight to the ceiling, and then overhead, feeling the length of the side body from the edge of the left foot to the tips of the left fingers. And then we'll place that down. And you'll inhale, extend the right leg back, left arm, and you can stay here just working on your balance,
or bring the elbow to meet the knee. And extend, elbow to meet the knee. And extend, elbow to meet the knee. And extend. And then placing the left hand down, the toes of the right foot can come down and you'll slide onto the inner side of your right foot. Pressing the right foot into the mat as you turn your torso to the right, maybe kicking your left shin out as a bit of a kickstand, reaching your right arm up into the ceiling overhead, and then right arm comes along beside the ear, feeling the length of the right side body from the edge of the right foot to the tips of the right fingers. And then you're just gonna come down, come back to your hands and knees. We'll take a arch and around, arch and around. And then we'll take our knees wide, come back into the child's pose, letting the hips come to the ankles, forehead comes to the ground, and you're just rolling your hips slightly left and right, noticing what's happening there today. Child's pose is such a great resting posture to just release into. Anytime during your practice, please go here if you're feeling tired. Anytime during your day, during your life, take child's pose when you're feeling a little overwhelmed, if it's, possible and appropriate. But yes, sometimes it's not always, if there's not always a yoga mat there when you want to take child's pose, right? Oh, we wish. Come back to our hands and knees, doing a couple cat cows again. And then I'm gonna just bring my right foot in between my hands, and then I'm gonna just kick my left knee back a little bit. So I'm sinking a little bit into my hips here, but I'm in a lunge supported with my hands and just allowing myself to feel that support with the hands. So we're not pressing too much up into a low lunge. We're just allowing the hips to fall while our hands frame the right foot. And then we will just bring a little bit of straightening to the right leg, and the torso draping over that right thigh. But you're not being still, you just feel some movement. Allow yourself to roll back and forth along the right heel. Keep a slight bend in your right knee. It's really just more about creating some movement. And then you can rebend into that front knee. And then what we'll do here with the hips sinking again, just allow that, bring your right hand on the inside of your foot and kick your right foot out to the right side of the mat. So your hands are together and then your right foot is outside of your right hand. Hips are sinking down. Now you may want to tuck your toes and lengthen your left leg back a little bit and come down to your forearms. And we'll just be in lizard here for a moment. This allows you to just get into the hips. If being on your forearms is not a possibility, stay on your hands, or you can put blocks under your hands if that is difficult. Just allowing us to get into the hip a little bit. And then you're going to press up. And we'll take the right leg back. Let's take a cat cow. This should be cow cat, shouldn't it? That's the cow, this is the cat. And people tend to cow first and then cat. Anyway, that would be what I would call Olivia's yoga waffle. And again, we're going to bring our left foot between our hands, scooch that right knee back a little bit and allowing yourself to just drop into your hips in a supported low lunge. So your hands are supporting your weight here and just allowing yourself to feel into that right hip flexor as the hips drop towards the mat. And then straighten very, very gently the left leg. Keeping a bend in the knee, very slight. Allowing yourself to just roll back and forth on that heel. And then coming back to stillness, coming back and dropping back into your low lunge, supported low lunge with your hands on the ground. And then you're just gonna heel toe your left foot out, bring your left hand inside your left foot. You may lift the knee, the right knee back, just to give yourself more length. And then allow yourself to sink here into lizard pose. Again, you may come down to your elbows. You may have blocks underneath your hands. You may stay on your hands. It's all possible. But just allow yourself a moment in lizard to really open into those hips. Breathing deep. And then we'll push back up. Coming back to your hands and knees. And then nice. Reaching the chest forward. Curling, tail down. Pushing up between that area, between the shoulder blades, and feeling the extension. We're going to sit back on our ankles here. I'm actually going to face you for this. So we're here on our ankles in kneeling position. If kneeling is uncomfortable, for any reason, if there's too much pressure on the knees, what I would suggest is taking support underneath your hips in with a block, and that will take the pressure off of your knees. Certainly when I had knee surgery, probably about 10 years ago, it was necessary to modify kneeling mostly. That was the thing that needed. But it depends really, what the ailment is. But always, always, always be good to your knees. Well, we got to. I mean, there is new, anyway, I digress. We are going to inhale our right arm up and letting the right hand just fall behind the head. We'll use the left hand to grab the elbow and just gently take the body to the left. Not a huge strain or stretch, just a sort of gentle encouragement. And then allowing yourself to come back to center so that your left arm is still holding your right elbow, but your spine is straight up and down. And then you're going to release that left hand and you're going to bring it behind you. And either you're going to grasp your right arm, your right hand, and find the bind, or you're just going to hold your shirt. Either is fantastic. And if this is uncomfortable at all, just continue to hold the right elbow with the left hand. I'm trying to find my bind because I think it's going to be really helpful for a back issue I'm having at the moment. This pose, curiously, can be really therapeutic for the back muscles. So when you find your bind or just grasping your shirt or maybe a strap between your hands or just holding your elbow, we'll stay here for a moment. And then you may just ever so slightly lift the heart center towards
the ceiling. Don't crank the neck, just let the spine turn back and lift the heart center up. Very, very subtle. And then come back to center, and then you can release that. Notice how your right arm feels. Notice how your left arm feels. And then inhale, we'll bring the left arm up. And again, letting the hand just drop behind the head or neck. We'll take the right hand, holding the left elbow, and just again, bending slightly to the right, feeling the length in the right body, right side body. And then back up. And again, you may want to take the bind on this side. So you may either just stay here with a straight spine, holding your left elbow, which is really actually feels really just as good and effective as taking the bind. Or you may want to bring your left arm around and find the bind on this side. Yeah, it's for me, this side is more challenging because of the internal rotation of my right arm or the external rotation of my right arm. So I'm just going to hold my sweater here and then ever so slightly lifting the heart center toward the ceiling. Gaze just goes up in a sort of slight diagonal. Allow yourself to feel that and bring it back in and release, noticing how the left arm feels, noticing how the right arm feels. Maybe taking a roll of the head to the left. This is the left. Though I'm sure it looks opposite to the right. There's something on my hat. And then we will take a downward dog, but we're going to do downward dog at the wall. Just for anybody that is newer to yoga or has more of an issue going upside down, you're going to be about a leg's distance from the wall. And just allow yourself to have your palms parallel facing you on the wall, and your body's at a slight diagonal. And then as your hands come down the wall, your hips are going to go right over your feet. So I need to go back a little bit more, I can see. So you're really creating this nice right angle between your straight spine and your hands pressing into the wall and your feet pressing into the floor, your hips directly above your feet. And just allow yourself to feel the length here along the hamstrings, along the glutes. And maybe even feel as if you could externally rotate your upper arms as you press into the wall, and see if that gives you any more length in the tailbone. Relaxing, breathing, feeling yourself pulling your floating ribs in as you rotate your upper arms out, creating length and extension from the tailbone to the crown of the head. And then walk up the wall, just gently and slowly. And let's step out to a goddess pose. So inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, hands come to center. One foot to the right, one foot to the left, and bend into your knees, coming into goddess. Feeling the strength in your legs. And then straight to a 5-pointed star. And you're going to parallel your legs and bend right at the hip flexors and come down to a Prasarita Padottanasana, forward fold.
If the forward fold is difficult, having blocks under your arms here like this can be great. And before we go right into the fold, I encourage everyone to find a nice parallel spine to the floor. So you're going to stop about halfway into your fold where your spine is parallel with the floor. And really explore again, as we just did with the downward dog on the wall, the feeling of length in the tailbone to the crown of the head here. And as you almost rotate your inner thighs inward, as if you're trying to push your inner thighs into each other at the same time as lifting your sit bones high to keep your legs straight, you can really feel the extension of the tailbone and access that length to the crown of the head. And as you're ready, you can go deeper into your fold or stay and explore that lengthening process between the inward rotation of the upper thighs and the extension of the tailbone. Noticing if that creates more length along the spine as you find your forward fold. And then you'll halfway lift, coming to a straight spine again, parallel to the ground. And you're going to bend into your right knee and come over to a side lunge. So the left leg will be straight, the right knee is bent, and you're allowing that stretch on the inner left leg. Hands can be in prayer. Just allowing yourself to feel the length and stretch on the inside of the left leg in your side lunge here. And then pressing into your hands, we'll take that to the other side. Coming into the left leg, straightening the right leg. If your left heel can come down, great. Straightening the right leg out to the right, you'll be feeling the stretch on the inner thigh here. And hands come to prayer, allowing yourself to just embody and inhabit that stretch. And then we'll press into our feet, coming to halfway, feeling the length of the spine, and then bending into both knees. We'll again come back to sitting on our knees or on our ankles, and we'll just take a little side bend here. Right hand coming down to the right, left arm reaching over top, and then to the other side. And once more, left arm overhead. And if you feel called, you can place your right hand just next to your right foot or a little bit out and bring your left arm up on a diagonal. And we just do a slight back bend here, supported by your right hand. Don't need to come up. This is just a very gentle variation on a camel pose. And then really get into a lot of movement, warm enough to do full camel. If you at home are watching and feel called to do a camel, I encourage you. I would actually just do this alternate body opening. And 4 on each side, pressing into the right hand, drawing an arc with the left, beaming the heart center up. And then pressing into the left hand, drawing an arc with the right hand, beaming the heart center up. Now we'll come
arms wide as the T. And just give yourself a hug here, grabbing onto the shoulder blades. We'll lift the heart and curl in. Lift the heart and curl in. Once more, lifting the heart and curling in. Waking up between the shoulder blades and out again. Left arm over right, grabbing the shoulder blades, noticing the difference on this side. And then we lift, inhaling, exhaling, curling. Lift, inhaling, exhaling, curling. One more time, lifting to inhale, exhale to curl in. You're just going to slide off to the right, letting the hips come down to the mat. We'll kick the left leg out. Nice straight line. Right foot will be on the inside of the left thigh. Right knee pointing diagonally to the right. Yeah, I'm going to have us just using your hands, reposition yourself so your torso is facing over your right knee. And then we're going to extend our arms and just lean in to the left, and then drawing a rainbow arc above our head. And just really allowing, more than anything, yourself to feel the opening and the length along the back and side body in your side stretch here. As if you could reach taller, not longer, but taller. So you're reaching more into the sky than you are to the left. And then you'll notice how that opens up space from the hip to the fingertips along the right side body. Really pressing that right hip into the mat as you reach the right hand into the sky. And then we will come back to vertical. And then you're going to orientate yourself now using your hands to support your body weight so that your torso now faces over the left leg. And you are just going to find some length here in your spine. And you're going to fold gently over your left leg. You may want to take the outer edge of your left foot with your right hand, and using your left hand for leverage, twist the torso as if it could turn more to the left while maintaining extension and length in the spine. Nice side twist. Using the inhales to lengthen the spine, using the exhales to deepen the twist. Again, you may really feel from the connection of the edge of your left foot to your right hip, this just extension along the right side body. Pressing into that right hand with your left foot. Pressing into your right hip into the mat. And then just release that and using your hands to support yourself, coming back up. And we'll do the other side. So right leg comes out, left foot on the inside of the right leg. You're orientated, using your hands to support yourself so that the torso is facing over the left knee. Hands come out to a T, and then just lean, 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 lean to the right, letting the hand fall wherever it falls, and using the left hand to draw a semi-rainbow above your head. Really, again, the focus here with the movement of the left arm is up, up into the ceiling so that you feel the length of the left side body from the hip to the tips of the fingers. You really want to feel that lovely open length. And as you reach, you'll probably begin to feel things along the back and along the side body just open up for you. And then allowing yourself to use your left hand to bring yourself up to vertical again. Then using your hands to support the weight of your torso, you're going to readjust so that you orient your torso over your right leg. And then we'll just fold here. At first, just keeping a nice straight spine, beaming the heart center towards the foot, and then taking the outside of your right foot with your left hand, using your right hand as leverage, you're going to turn your torso to the right at the same time as fostering a lot of extension and length in the spine. So inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, deepen the twist. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, deepening the twist. And again, really feeling that openness as your right foot presses into your left hand, the length and stretch all along the left side body, from the hip through the side body, via the ribs, through the shoulder, into the outer part of your left arm as your torso turns to the right. And then you can release that and come up to center. And we'll kick both legs out into a straddle. Having a block here to support your head as you come down can be very good. You want to remove any flesh from beneath the sit bone and just allow yourself to fall forward onto your support. Allowing your weight of your head to just melt into the mat, melt into the floor. And as you make contact with the block, with the floor, wherever your head is just able to fully relax and release, you can imagine a vortex of beautiful silvery liquid passing from your third eye, running deep into the earth. And along the current of that vortex of silvery liquid, all the noise, all the thoughts, all the fluctuations, the distractions, the expectations, the attachments, the desires, just carried on the current of this vortex passing through your third eye, out of your third eye, out of your brain, out of your mind, deep into the earth, as if it was washing the mental space clear. And then you're going to press into your hands. Come back to center. We'll make our way to our backs. If you want to take a happy baby here on your back before Shavasana, that might feel good. I feel like taking a side bend, so I'm just going to bring my knees in and let them drop to the left, extending my right arm. Very simple side twist. Not going to stay here too long. So I'm bringing my knees back up to center, holding them in again and letting them drop to the right, extending my left arm. a moment in a nice side twist, and then ease back to center. Maybe hug your knees in, curl your torso up to your knees, and just hold everything for a moment. And then release. Legs come down along the mat. Hands face up. Arms are by your side. I already noticed how much my butt is gripping. So letting any gripping go, let anything in your glutes, in your butt, ungrip. Any tension around the sacrum, let the tail of the spine melt into the mat. If you're holding between the shoulder blades, this is a great time to let that go. If you're holding in the jaw, if you're clenching anywhere at all, just imagine it all releasing into the mat. And slowly bringing some movement back to the toes, to the fingers. Breathing deep, feeling the breath circulate in the body. Feeling the awareness grow to prepare the body to move again. Breathing deep. Curling onto one side. Taking a moment in fetal position on one side, just to allow yourself to rest. And taking that quality of gentleness, tenderness, compassion for that tender part of ourselves can really feel here. And just knowing you're going to continue to hold that as you make your way up to a seat. You may want to again hold the heart center, hold yourself in a way that is best physically expressed to you. Breathing deep. And just knowing that you are here for yourself, to hold yourself with kindness and compassion. Whether you're suffering, whether everything's great, you're still your best advocate for support and love in your self-compassion. Breathing deep into the heart space. And we'll take an Om together. So inhaling first and then Oming. Inhale. Bowing to you, my teachers, my friends, my treasured humans, that are so essential to the experience of being. There is nobody like you on this planet, and you are amazing every day simply by being yourself, simply by offering yourself as you are. I'm so grateful to you, and I'm so grateful to share this path with you. Thank you so much for sharing my practice with me and enhancing and magnifying our energy together. And when we come together in this way, we enhance and magnify each other to really create true healing, true collective healing. Be well, everybody. Have a beautiful day, and I will see you here soon. Thank you for joining me.